Why is it that the more you chase, the more they flee, yet the moment you turn away, they come running? Today, I will show you why detachment is not merely a game, it is the supreme strategy for making yourself irresistible. The wise understand this truth. Abundance breeds indifference, but scarcity creates desire. If something is always within reach, the human mind takes it for granted. It is in our nature to hunger for what is rare, to chase what feels just out of reach. A ruler who throws open his gates to everyone, every hour, will soon find his halls empty of respect. The same law governs the affairs of the heart, the game of influence, and the arena of power. Consider the banquet table. When the wine flows endlessly, no guest truly savors it. They drink without thought, without gratitude. But let the wine run dry, let the goblets sit empty, and suddenly every drop becomes precious. This is how you must treat your presence, your time, your attention. If you offer them without restraint, they lose their weight. They become like water to the fish, ever present, unnoticed. But withdraw them, limit them, and watch as others cling to every moment you give. Your value is measured not only by what you are, but by how rare it is to experience you. A king does not stroll the market daily, not because he cannot, but because his absence makes his appearance an event. A lover who is always waiting at the door soon becomes part of the furniture. A lover who is sometimes absent becomes the subject of restless thought. In politics, in seduction, in friendship, the same law applies. If they can have you at any moment, they will not fight for you at any moment. You must understand that human desire thrives in the space between possession and loss. Too close, and they feel they have you. Too far, and they give up the chase. Scarcity exists in the perfect balance, enough presence to feed the imagination, enough absence to keep them hungry. This is why the great rulers of history did not always speak, even when they had the words. They allowed silence to speak for them. They allowed mystery to build around them like a fortress. And it is not just your physical presence that must be scarce. Your approval, your praise, your affection, these must also be guarded. If you applaud every gesture, your applause becomes meaningless. But if you grant it only when it is earned, it becomes a prize worth striving for. This forces others to perform, to improve, to pursue your favor as if it were gold. You may think generosity will win you love, but love bought too cheaply rarely lasts. The truth is, people value most what they must earn, and they respect most what they cannot always reach. When you understand the power of scarcity, you stop chasing to be seen. Instead, you allow absence to magnify your presence. You stop giving every piece of yourself freely, and you begin to make others wait. And in that waiting, in that restless anticipation, you will find them thinking of you more than they ever did when you stood constantly in their light. Scarcity is not about rejection, it is about preserving your worth in a world that spends value too quickly. And when you master this, they will not only want you, they will need you. There is no greater vulnerability in the game of power than a heart that cannot be mastered. Emotions are storms, and those who are swept away by them are easy prey for those who can stand calmly in the rain. Understand this: the one who feels less, or at least appears to, holds the advantage over the one who feels too much. It is not cruelty, it is survival. In every contest between two minds, whether in the palace or the bedchamber, the one with greater control dictates the outcome. Imagine a negotiation where one side is desperate to close the deal, where their urgency seeps into every word, every movement. The other side sees this hunger and sharpens their blade. They delay, they demand more. They push the desperate party into concessions they would never give if they were calm. The same dynamic unfolds in romance, in friendship, in war. The man or woman who cannot control the pull of their emotions will soon find themselves dancing to another's rhythm because they have given away their greatest bargaining chip, the ability to walk away. Control does not mean the absence of feeling even a master strategist feels. But feelings must be tamed like a dangerous animal. You may feel longing, but you do not show it in a way that surrenders your position. You may feel anger, but you release it not in a wild explosion, but in a calculated strike at the moment of your choosing. To let emotions dictate your moves is to hand your opponent the map to your weaknesses. They will know when to press, when to withdraw, when to tempt, and when to punish. But if you present no such openings, you remain unreadable, untouchable. There is a certain terror in dealing with someone who does not react as expected. They insult you, and you smile. They ignore you, and you remain unshaken. They try to provoke jealousy, and you offer only polite indifference. This confuses them, frustrates them, draws them deeper into the game as they seek to provoke some sign of weakness. And yet, each failed attempt only adds to your strength in their eyes. They may not admit it, but they will begin to respect you, even fear you. And fear, in matters of power, is more enduring than affection. The ability to control your emotions is also the ability to control the pace of the game. You decide when to advance, when to retreat, when to speak, when to be silent. Those ruled by their feelings act too soon or too late. Compelled by impulses they do not question. But you, in your stillness, are able to choose your moments like a master choosing the perfect time to strike a rival. This is why so few rise to true influence. It is not enough to outthink your rivals. You must also outfeel them, restrain what they cannot restrain. And remember, control is not always seen in grand gestures. It is in the small pauses before you answer, the calm tone when others raise their voices, the measured step when others rush forward. It is in the discipline to withhold that message, to delay that meeting, to smile instead of argue. Each moment you resist the pull of impulse. You gain ground in the unseen battle for dominance. For while others are captives to their emotions, you remain the one holding the key. There comes a moment in every interaction, whether in politics, in love, or in the subtle dance of influence, when the other party believes they have secured you. They think the game is over, that they have won your loyalty, your affection, your allegiance. And it is in this moment, when their guard is lowered, that you must step back, not with drama, not with anger, but with the quiet precision of a strategist removing a piece from the board. This is the art of strategic withdrawal. Withdrawal is not defeat, it is not surrender. It is an active move, a deliberate step designed to alter the balance of desire and power. When you pull away, you create a void, and human nature despises a void. The absence you leave behind becomes unbearable, especially if you once gave your presence freely. They begin to question themselves. Did they do something wrong? Have they lost your favor? Was their victory an illusion? These questions breed insecurity, and insecurity breeds pursuit. You do not need to command them to follow. Their own mind becomes the leash that pulls them toward you. Think of the general who retreats from the battlefield, not because he cannot fight, but because he wishes to draw the enemy into unfamiliar ground. His retreat is a trap. So it is with personal dealings. If you remain constantly available, your value becomes fixed, predictable. But when you disappear at the right moment, you unsettle their certainty. You force them to chase you into territory you control. And once they are chasing, they are no longer thinking with clarity, they are reacting. And reaction is the enemy of strategy. Strategic withdrawal also tests the depth of another's interest. Anyone can play the role of a pursuer when the prize is placed directly in their hands. But will they still desire it when they must work to keep it? When the conversations slow, when the meetings fade, when your presence becomes a rarity? Only the truly invested will take action to draw you back. The rest will drift away, revealing themselves as unworthy of your time or influence. In this way, withdrawal acts as both a weapon and a filter. The skill lies in timing. Withdraw too early, and they may never have felt the weight of your presence enough to miss it. Withdraw too late, and they may already have lost interest. The most powerful withdrawal comes after you have given just enough to ignite their desire, just enough to make them believe you are within reach. It is in that moment, when they lean forward, that you take a step back, not vanishing entirely, but just far enough that they must lean further, reach further, invest more. This is not an act of cruelty, but of mastery. You are not abandoning the game, you are reshaping it. Your silence becomes louder than words. Your absence becomes a presence in their mind, replaying every moment they had with you, weighing every possibility of how to bring you back. And in that process, without realizing it, they hand you the advantage, for now they are the one expending effort, and you are the one being sought. There is a truth that few dare admit: people may enjoy the one who gives them everything, but they respect the one who withholds. Respect is born not from constant attention, but from the perception that your attention must be earned. Indifference, when wielded with intent, is not a lack of interest. It is the quiet declaration that you do not bend yourself to every hand that reaches for you. And in a world where most people chase approval, the one who seems unmoved becomes the one they cannot stop thinking about. To be indifferent is not to be cold or cruel, but to remain unshaken in the presence of temptation, flattery, or provocation. When others try to draw you into petty disputes, you decline to engage. When they offer you what they believe will entice you, you do not leap to accept. This unsettles them, because the majority expect compliance when they offer attention, affection, or opportunity. But your calm refusal to be easily swayed marks you as someone who is not desperate for what they have. And those who are not desperate are dangerous, because they cannot be controlled. In matters of influence, indifference is the shield that protects your value. Consider the courtier who bows too deeply, laughs too eagerly, agrees too quickly. Such a man may be liked, but he will never be respected. He is seen as a tool, a convenience, always available, always bending. But the courtier who listens without rushing to respond, who accepts or rejects without showing strain, who carries himself as though nothing can truly disturb his balance, that man is remembered. People measure their own worth by his reaction, and in doing so, they elevate him. Respect through indifference also shifts the burden of effort. When you are not visibly striving for someone's approval, they begin to strive for yours. They watch for signs that they have impressed you, that they have moved you in power, desire, respect. These are not granted freely. They are drawn to those who master themselves before they attempt to master others. Detachment is not the absence of care. It is the discipline to place value on your time, your presence, your emotions. Scarcity makes them want you. Control keeps them from controlling you. Strategic withdrawal makes them chase you. Indifference forces them to respect you. Together, these are not mere tricks. They are a way of life for those who would rather be pursued than forgotten, obeyed rather than overlooked. Remember, the strongest magnet is not the one that clings, but the one that pulls without moving. And when you embody this, you will find that the world does not simply want you. It cannot bear to be without you.